All right, guys. Your last lecture for this entire semester. I'm going to combine into two because it's not very lengthy, and your test will be tomorrow right after this. So we're going to keep it in one lecture. So this will be 11 and 12, settling the Great Plains. All right, we've talked about the Great Plains, where they're located, the landscape, the environment, and how you get there, why you get there. Now, Western settling those plains is made by two factors. First is the Transcontinental Railroad. That's how you get to where you're going. And second is your federal land policy. And that is basically just how the federal government is going to go about distributing or giving out that land. So we'll talk about the policy they have next. That is the Homestead Act. We've already discussed it. This should be review. You should know it. All right. Homestead Act is a key piece of legislation or the key law in Western settlement. Okay, it offers 160 acres of land for a small fee. All right, you have to improve that land and you have to live on it for at least 5 years, and then that land is yours. Okay, so you have to build on it and stay there. You're creating a homestead. The purpose of this is to provide opportunity for Americans to farm their own land. All right, that land, that farmland in the South, that was promised, 40 acres and a mule. They cannot give that land to people because that land is already owned. So they're going to let other people come and get land themselves. They don't have money to buy it, so the government is going to give it to them because this land needs to be developed. All right, this is a win-win for the government. They're going to open new markets in the West. You're going to be able to have new farms, new resources that we've never had before. So you're opening new markets. We're going to settle the country. Right now, most of your population is in the Northeast and the Southeast. We're going to be able to have our population spread throughout the entire country. And many of your former slaves are going to take advantage of this opportunity. We've discussed this as well. Those are called exodusters. Like the Exodus, a mass movement or a mass exit. There's exodusters or former slaves that are going to leave the South in hopes to create their own opportunities west. Okay, so former slaves taking advantage of this Homestead Act are called exodusters. This is just an example certificate, deed, basically saying, hey, this is your land, you've signed it, this is your contract, you're gonna, work your land. Now, your challenges. This is not going to be easy. Okay, life west of the 98th parallel, basically that Midwest on, is difficult. It is not easy. That's why not everyone does it. There's droughts and there's storms all the time. All right, they're prevalent. They are very common. You have very little building material. You saw pictures of the Great Plains. There's no trees around. It's just plains. It's just grass, just meadows, just hills. And sod houses are the norm. These are sod houses. Okay, for those of you that don't see, this is a house built right into a hill. The cow is not on the roof, it's on the hill. All right, sod is basically just that mixture of grass and dirt and other materials that are built as some sense of shelter. Okay, so that's not wood. The door is wooden and the window frames, but everything else is grass and mud and just yuck. Okay, and it is extreme isolation and loneliness. You're divided up into 160-acre plots. An acre is more than the length of our football field down here. All that land is close to an acre. It's 160 of those. So you don't have another family around for at least 160 acres. All right? And so you have one family around you and that's it. So it's extremely lonely, especially if you don't have a full family, if you're starting on your own. Now, your challenges will continue. Despite new technologies, you have deeper wells, which allow for more water and cleaner water. You have John Deere steel plow, which allows you to plow up more land quicker, tears through that ground easily. You have barbed wire, so you can control your cattle. You can keep your cattle within your grazing areas, and other cattle don't come and graze from your areas. Mechanical reapers allow for faster harvesting of your crops. All those new technologies, it's still very difficult for homesteaders. All right, because most of your good land, the easily farmable land, is going to be taken by speculators and railroads. Railroads going to get first grab at all of this because you want the land to be straight and easily buildable for that railroad, so that they don't have to worry about going up or over or under mountains or lakes. Okay, so they're going to take the best available land, and if you have great land and the railroad wants to build it, they're basically going to buy it or take it from you by force. All right, and women, you have to work as well. Women homesteaders, and you saw examples of women last week. Women homesteaders face incredible challenges. They work to carve out a life of their own, especially in the Oklahoma Territory, those Sooners. Here, you can know why that stinks. I'll let you, if you don't know why it stinks, I'll let you, stare at that picture and figure out why. Now, your government support. Your government's going to aid homesteaders. They're going to increase the size of land plots from 160 acres to 640. So 4 to 5 times the amount of land in drier places. 160 acres of very dry, hot land that's difficult to farm is not going to be worth it to some people. But at 640 acres, that might be worth it. They're going to create the Morrill Land Grant Act, which from 1862 to 1890 provides government land to establish agricultural colleges in the United States. The idea is to improve agricultural techniques, to advance agriculture, to advance farming. Okay? The government provides land for colleges that want to farm. Examples are NC State and North Carolina A&T, both two very close colleges. Those are colleges created for agriculture, for farming. Now they've gotten bigger. Obviously NC State has gotten bigger, but it is still very wonderful as far as going for agriculture. And now your Western population is going to grow because of this. Now the end of the frontier. Your frontier is hard to define, but many see it as the line of American settlement across the continent. That's that unexplored territory that we have not only explored, but now we're settling. Because we have taken this area that was previously new to us, we have not only discovered it, but we're now building on it. That frontier is over. We're going to have to find new frontiers, new unexplored lands. In 1893, historian Frederick Jackson Turner presents his frontier thesis. This says that the frontier is closed and the West is settled, but settling the country is what made Americans exceptional, because we used our own ingenuity and our own determination and went through lands that most people have never been on. Not only did we discover them, we built them. We built settlements and homes and cities that made Americans truly exceptional compared to the rest of the world. Now, we'll continue with our struggling. Industry and urbanization will grow continually in the East by 1890s. The United States becomes the largest in the world. We have the largest industry in the entire world. And agricultural innovation leads to overproduction. When you have too much of a good, as you all should know by now, when you have too much of something, the price goes down. Okay, you have too much of it. One of the reasons why was because you have bonanza farms beginning. Bonanza is almost industrialized farming. It's major farms that grow an increasingly amount of one product to increase profits. But if you grow too much of that product, the price of that product goes down. So the competition is going to be less and less and less, because no one wants to pay, extreme amounts of money for corn when they can go to the next market and buy it half price. Okay, because your bonanza farms begin, that is industrialized farming. So you also have struggles between farmers and railroads as farmers attempt to get products east. If you're a western farmer, you're not going to sell to other farmers west because they're going to be growing crops as well. They can feed themselves. You're going to grow to the east. You're going to sell to the east, where you have all those city slickers, those people that don't farm, that need to buy their food in grocery stores. You're going to sell to them, but the issue is, how do you get your crops there before they spoil? All right, your number one way is going to be the railroad. You're going to see next semester in American History 2 how they have issues between getting their crops east. You're going to see what problems they face, and most of their problems are going to be between railroads and also banks. Okay, so we're going to end this unit there, and this was it. Get ready for your test tomorrow, guys. It's coming. See you later.